Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, dead slaves, peasants, serfs, bottom feeders, enemies of the state, demographic groups. I am a useful idiot, and I want to talk about the recent stress tests that the Fed did on all the major banks. Of course, most of them failing, but it's a moot point now anyway. Stress tests don't matter. The results don't matter. Rating agency downgrades don't really matter. None of that stuff that used to matter matters anymore. So we won't be discussing the use or the veracity of banker stress tests. It's all just a dog and pony show, smoke and mirrors for the masses out there to let the banking industry and the government let us all know that everything's okay. But I think what's interesting is in this latest stress test, the adverse scenario that the Fed set up was considerably more dire than the stress test they used back in 2009. And I need to read this verbatim because the Fed says that this is not a prediction, that this is merely a worst-case scenario to make sure the stress tests had credibility. But I beg to differ. I think this is the first time that we have actually gotten a very accurate description of what we can expect from the Federal Reserve. And this is it. This is what Bernanke and the Federal Reserve have forecasted for the rest of this year and 2013. Quote, a deep recession in the United States, significant declines in asset prices, an increase in risk premia, and a slowdown in global economic activity. Real GDP is assumed to contract sharply through late 2012, with unemployment reaching a peak of just over 13% in mid-2013. The scenario assumes that U.S. equity prices fall by 50% from their Q3 2011 values through late 2012, and that U.S. house prices fall by more than 20% through the end of 2013. Foreign real GDP growth is also assumed to contract with growth slowdowns in Europe and Asia in 2012. I think anybody that's paying attention realizes that the Federal Reserve saying that is not a forecast. It's easy to see right through it. That is indeed a forecast, and that is what we can expect. In spite of all the cheerleading going on right now that the economy is improving, the Federal Reserve themselves know, as all the insiders know, that things are going to take a considerable turn to the worse, and by 2013 it will all be pretty self-evident. So we're looking at a giant drop in the stock market, and we're looking at increased unemployment. We're looking at economic contractions across Europe and Asia. We're seeing that right now, as well as housing bubbles bursting in China, Australia, Canada, and contractions in powerhouse economies like Brazil, China, and Germany. So things are not looking up, and I think we can use this new Federal Reserve stress test non-forecast as an excellent forecast of what we can expect to come.